Catch this rhythm. You feel that? That's called playerism. I'm on the scene, a player clean, poker face, 4 queens. I got 4 of a kind on everything. Diggers, living elite. I don't feel complete without kicking at my feet in a Rolls Royce every week. Maybe this is deep. Listen close when I speak. I need to at least, cause I'm too much. I'll be a fool if I love him. You'll be a fool if you trust him. Here with my niggas, we keeping it gangsta. Yeah, I'm a slayer, I'm just keeping it player. I'm fucking her now, we're man eating it later. That's maybe why he is a hater. I'm wearing all black like I'm being a raider. You talk to police, we call you a traitor. I'm running the city, they call me for favors. I'm running the city, they call me the mayor. Lyrical Whitney, my sweet presidential. She's dealing with canary diamonds as I'm flying Canary Islands on a one-way. Fresh Easter Sunday, yes, I touched the runway. I'm blessed, she looks like she just left the runway. She wanna stay with me in this Disney fantasy and never go home like a runaway.
I'll be up before the daylight, that's why I'm getting paid, right? I'll be all in. I work hard and play hard until I hit the graveyard. I'll be all in.
I am going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Peace to the Saints. Today we have some classic game and a really meaningful topic from which I think many of you will benefit significantly. Before we get going, I want to show love to those who show love to me, as is our culture. That being the case, there was one gentleman who, perhaps I shouldn't say gentleman, let's find out. Individual named Lorenzo writes, "You late, sir," in all caps. Are you? And then I replied, "Are you a member?" And so we will wait to see if he is indeed a member. I'm interested to know. I don't recall his name supporting the work. Now, if he's a member, let me, we can have a conversation and we'll continue on with the stream. If he doesn't speak up or he's not a member, then I'll probably just answer the questions from the people who sent in their super chats, and then I'll do the rest of the stream for members only. And as I said, that's, with our culture, show love to those who show love to you. If people don't respect a consideration, there are people who've watched my channel for years, never sent in as much as $1, yet would have the impatience to rush me for something that I'm doing as a courtesy to them. So looks like we're not hearing from Lorenzo. So per my word, I'm going to answer the questions for those who have sent in their super chats, for they are serious about their questions. And then I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to resume it for the members at patreon.com/thesaintandthesinner. If you're not a part of the family, I advise you to join now, especially if you'd like to be a part of this lecture. You can click the link below. Yes, indeed, as AR says, they're acting like they're paying me to be here. It's quite funny. And we have so few people who are truly appreciative. It's one of the parts of a decaying culture and a falling civilization. Guy writes, "I'm broke and this dude helps elevate my game." No cap. Well, I appreciate that. That really does mean a lot to me, and we've all been there. But since the individual who spoke up will not present himself as a man, and I trust he's not a member, I've never seen him support the work. I trust there are many like him, and today we won't be giving out any freebies, you dig? So let me go ahead and show love to those who show love to me, instead of showing love to those who are randos and not thankful. First off, bowler alert. Shout out to Austin. He writes, "Finally able to support again," message in the chat. And I had the good fortune of speaking with Austin recently, so it's really good to hear from you again. I like to be around good people, and I'm happy to see that you're prosperous. He writes, "On behalf of all the saints, you got to explain that IG video." Y'all know which one I'm talking about if you've seen it. Indeed, if you don't follow me, you can follow me at Instagram.com/Marquett Devon. That link is also in the description, and there you'll get a lot more lifestyle stuff, I go live randomly. You'll get a lot of behind the scenes game. So do check it out. Anyways, you would have seen on my story today the usual workout update. Get your 30 minutes of sweat in every day. Exercise is prayer, sweat is the holy water. And then after that, you would have seen me walking by a chick with stick figure legs and a big falsely inflated rump. And I'm walking by her and I say, this bitch with this fake ass and these fake ass lips. These hoes are out of control. And I didn't whisper it. I said it directly to her while she was on the treadmill. She turns, jerks around and looks at me. Seemed like she was a little bit surprised and startled. Well, you might say, well, Marquett, why did you say such a thing? That's not very nice and polite. That doesn't sound saintly. Oh, indeed, it is a saintly thing to do. And I'll tell you why. Number one, we have a 3-sentence Bible. Be yourself. Be good to yourself. Be good to good people. I figured out she wasn't a good person. I'm in the gym. The gym is empty except her and I just finished my warm-up. She had been there for my warm-up, maybe 30, 40 minutes, and I put on my boxing gloves. I just need someone to tie them. I have tie-up boxing gloves. I said, would you be kind enough to tie up my boxing gloves? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. That rubbed me the wrong way. Every now and then I don't react immediately. I say, let me meditate over this so that I don't react angrily, unnecessarily. Someone just happened to be walking in the boxing gym. They come in, or walking in the gym, they come in and say, hey, would you mind tying up my gloves? It's a pleasure. They tie up the gloves. I have my workout. And then after the workout, I walk up to her and I say the nicest possible version of what I really wanted to say, which was, bitch, you have a fake ass and fake titties and fake lips. These hoes are out of control, which is a lot nicer than what I really wanted to say. Because number one, we were in a very nice gym at a luxury apartment complex in which I have 2 places in that complex, and we're neighbors. You should be able to show some common decency to your neighbor asking for a favor. Hence, when I find that someone's not a good person and they're in my community, I want them out. I want them uncomfortable. I want to rebuke them, and I want them out, because I only want good people in my neighborhood and in my community. And you should help your neighbors. You should know your neighbors. And if she was with her man, I'd have probably said something much grimier and beat the snot out of him. It would have been a pleasure. So yes, that's what that came from. And anytime you see me turn up on someone, it's never just out of nowhere. That's not my personality. But I would like to state that a lot of people say they're savages and they don't really live like that. If something's on my mind, you're going to hear about it. And I'm not going to pretend I like people. I'm not going to pretend I have respect for people when I don't. That's why when you often see me talking greasy to somebody, I mean every word of it. I'm not just playing games. And if I crack a joke on someone that I don't have a problem with, I'll let them know, like, hey, that was just a joke. I'm just teasing you. No hard feelings. But if people want smoke, let's smoke it out. Anyways, F that B. She deserved it. Goofball broad. And I'm going to be hard on her every time I see her in a real way. Thank you for asking. Shout out to Jordan. He writes, peace of the Saints. I have no boxing/MMA gyms near me. It gets like that. That's an unfortunate thing. Where do you live, my boy? Goodness. He writes, any advice on finding training/sparring partners that will meet you outside of the gym? Well, number one, I would make sure that you're in good shape and that you have strong conditioning and then fundamentals down before you start sparring at all. My coach who started me with training in Puerto Rico, who was a world champion, Ivan Calderon, and also a salsa dancing world champion. He made me wait 6 months before I got in there sparring, which was good because I was overconfident and I was thinking I could beat up everybody in the gym. And truth be told, I would have probably got exhausted and had the snot beaten out of me. So that was a good favor. So that's number one, make sure that your conditioning is in order. And then number two, I'm trust that you can find someone from your friend group. You can find someone in the current gym that you're in, or perhaps there's some online resources in your state that might help you network to find someone. Right, I agree that IG story was savage. Indeed it was. It was a true pleasure too. The thing that kills me, and we're going to get into this into the lecture, and this will be the lecture that'll be for members only. Because you have the government and the police and all of these structures in society, you have individuals that they behave in ways that are against the laws of nature. In a state of nature, She needs to show me respect. In fact, 99.9% of men need to show me respect, and that's fear based because I'm absolutely going to be open up cans of whoop ass if I don't get my respect. You dig? So, some people get outside of their body because they think that they have all these structures and civilization protecting them. When every now and then you have a savage who doesn't give a shit. I happen to be one of them. You dig? We can get it on however it gotta go. But ideally, I like peace. That's just me. I like peace. Suleiman writes, I'm a super player, but I get caught slipping when there's a connection. I never show weakness, but that's BS. Do you get me? How can I get over somebody that was a perfect match to me in an easy way? Peace to the saints. Well, number one, if they were a perfect match, I surmise you'd probably still be together. So, in as much as you're not together, there was some imperfection there. So, you can start by seeing the reality of the situation, which is to say, the truth of the situation. The problem is that with human beings, we often find challenge in that we're not looking at what is actually there, we're exaggerating. And that's what often happens when your emotions get control of you. You exaggerate your good things, like the quality of the girl. You exaggerate the bad things, like the seriousness of the breakup. And when you can write things down and live in reality, then your problems will be manageable because you're seeing them accurately, and then you can begin to deal with them. So that's number one. You have hyperbole here, perfect match, and things of that nature. I actually do have a video perfectly for you on this specific topic. It is called How to Get Over a Breakup, and that is for members at patreon.com/the Saint in the Center. It's about, I think, 10 or so, 10 plus minutes, and it's talking specifically about what to do. Exmar writes, quarter of a million wasted courting women during your age 18 to 30. Sasson, save your money and invest. By the time you're 35 years old, when you're hitting your stride, you'll have over 2 million from investment. I hear you, bruh. I hear you. And I also want to add to that, enjoy your life. I spent so much time working intensely. I felt as though I went, maybe half a decade without smiling, working every day and not enjoying the process of building wealth, financial wealth, that is, not realizing that there are greater measures in life. And the number one measure is happiness. And that's the one we forget about the quickest. And you'll find it to be strange that once you make a million bucks, you realize that that doesn't instantly equal happiness, and that you'll still have days where you're not as energetic, or days where you're not pleased, or days where you can do fly stuff but your friends can't afford to do it with you, or you're suspicious of all the females in your life because you don't know if they're there for the money, which is to say that money does not remove you from being a human being. You'll still be a human being. So work on your happiness right now. That is the greatest pursuit. Donovan writes, I knew there had to be a backstory behind it. Indeed, I'm a reasonable man. He writes, had to check that bit on site expeditiously. Indeed. And you know what? If we fail to check them, then the behavior continues. It's especially important to set people straight when they are within your locus of control, within your environment and your community. And that's why it's important that we co-locate like-minded people. I don't want her in my environment. You dig? I don't want harlots in my community, especially if the harlot can't lift her finger for a neighbor, someone she's going to see again. It'd be a different story if I was in a New York subway and I said, hey, can you do me a solid? And she's like, I'm never going to see you again. But, we had to do what was righteous. You dig? He writes, straight from the tribe of Chekaho. Peace to the saints. Oh, indeed. And they need that in their life. Oh, and she gonna have to respect it. You dig? Shout out to Jordan Foster. He writes, to answer, I'm in Greenville, South Kakalaki, but I'm already a correctional officer. Okay. So I need training now. Hopefully some saints are here. You know what? I want to say Robert is in Kakalaki, but it might be North Kakalaki. But anyways, if you check in the Discord, we have a channel for many of the states and major cities. We just made one today for New York. And regardless, if you post in the general channel, I'm sure people who are in your locality will step up. And indeed, if we're at the end of the super chats, I'll end this one and I'll go on to the private link for the members, since they're those freeloaders who can't appreciate something that they're getting for nothing. And here's a link if you're not currently a member of the family at patreon.com/the saint and the sinner. Solon writes, Peace, Marquette. Just curious, during your time boxing, have you ever trained someone or given them pointers at the gym? Not really, not in the boxing gym. And that's because, generally speaking, the boxing gyms that I go to have a lot of professional trainers, guys who have trained world champions. For example, I was just commenting on a fight today on YouTube with Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez, which I was actually at that fight, and I had great seats. And there was something in that fight that I felt was really suspicious. I made a comment on the video, and then PBC Boxing, I think it was, it responded to me. We don't agree, but I say that to say Caleb Plant, world champion, trains in the gym I go to, and his trainer, Justin Gamper, is a world class trainer. So when you have those kind of individuals around, it wouldn't even be appropriate to ask me for training when you got Justin Gamper right there. You got Floyd Mayweather Sr. comes in there every now and then, and many other exceptional trainers. So generally, no. And most often in life, I try not to give advice on YouTube. I come here to speak advice on a given topic, and you guys choose to show up. But I tend to think of it like this in life in general. If someone wants my advice, they'll ask for it or they'll pay for it. And I know that my perspective and expertise is highly valued. And for that reason, I don't want to cast pearls to swine. And I don't want to undervalue my knowledge by giving it out for nothing when it's worth a great deal. So generally, no. Thank you for that question. Candon, since I know Candon and we're about to transition off of here, I just want to be clear. Yes, all of the member sites, Assassin.com, Marquettism, and Patreon, I'm about to create a link for those members, and we will continue this same topic on a link that's for members only, since there are those who watch, don't have the decency to click the like, and most importantly, you got people telling me that I'm late as though they're paying me to be here. I've never seen their name, they've never supported. So we're going to just do this private for the people that I know really support the work. Austin came back with more tuition by Cash App, and he has his question in the chat. So if someone could repost that one, as I'll scroll through and see if I can find it as well. So Austin, go ahead and pop that one back in for me. Oh, got you. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Candid. In a real way. Okay, let me also check on that. Oh, wow. Shout out to Cannon. Yeah, he came in with tuition early. Appreciate you. He writes, tuition, I'll post the question after the stream starts. So please do share your question. And please forgive me for slipping that one. But mind you, right now, you guys wouldn't believe I'm talking to in excess of 20 individuals, hiring them on the customer service side for all the businesses facing YouTube that I have, and as well video editors too, just to add to the team so that we can pump out things a lot more quickly. So we're really beefing up payroll right now. Also, shout out to George Kelly, who came in by a Cash App. Truly appreciate that. Part of the reason that I missed some of them is because I have a lot of job applications. Just before this stream, I was talking to a lot of folks, trying to get them interviewed. And shout out to Altitude, who came in, nearly this morning, and he was putting that up for some recent content, namely the interview that I did with the young lady yesterday, I believe that was. Yes, indeed, time flies. I also acknowledge Joseph, who came in by a Cash App. Shout out. And shout out to Jalen, comes in by a Cash App, writes, peace to the saint and the sinner. Appreciate you. By a PayPal, baller alert. Romario writes, if you give a female commitment, she will feel/act like she has made it. You ain't lying. Peace to the saints. Much appreciation for your valuable time and consistent game, Marquette, Sassin or nothing in a real way. And I'm living like that. I acknowledge Roland comes in by a Cash App. May I also acknowledge, shout out to Walton. He actually just went and copped some drip at mdblabel.com. He got the black tank top with the red MDB label. I actually have that one myself. And he got the vintage black hoodie, which I actually don't have that one. That one is cold. I actually just ordered some hoodies from manandwomanbrand.com myself. I ordered like the highlighter green one, you dig, for them late night runs. Okay, let's see if we got this question. Now, the Saint had a question. I'm looking for it. I believe it was Austin came back with the second question. Do you want to repost that one, Austin? And while you're reposting that question, Austin, I'm going to go ahead and create this link, this private link for the members. Also, anyone else who sees Austin's question, please do repost it. And Austin winning right now. I can see that he just came back by Cash App. Shout out to Marco, comes in by a Cash App, writes peace to the saints. And we're going to do some preaching today. Just get this link ready for the members. Oh, by the way, shout out to the ballers. Baller alert. Don writes, shout out to Ricardo. I had to do it one time. Baller alert. LOL. Indeed. Shout out to Ricardo. He's one of our famous ballers out here. Canada writes, can we join on the live or no link will be provided to join? You know what? Since we're going to do this one for the members, yeah, I'll provide the link. I will provide the link for that one. I'll provide the link both so that the members can have access to the live session. If they need to join, they'll be able to do so as well. May I acknowledge via PayPal, Kenneth writes, peace to the saints and tuition, just paying what is due. Do you have a video speaking on how to manage a side and a main piece woman wanting me to commit, but also not misleading them? Oh, that's a fascinating question you have there, Kenneth. Well, number one, you're right. Do I have a video speaking on how to manage a side and a main piece? So the first question for you is, are the side and main pieces aware of one another? That's question one. And when you say misleading them, well, you first have to ask yourself, what are your goals with each girl and what are your goals with the girls collectively? What are your goals? And then you have to ask yourself, are you in a position to prioritize your goals over their goals? And truth be told, when you get to the point in life where you really want to win, you're going to follow that 3 sentence Bible. Be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people, be good to yourself, even before you're good to good people, which is to say that you're going to prioritize your goals and your interests. That is a winning mentality. And then when you say without misleading them, okay, sentence number one, be yourself. If it is in your heart that you don't want to mislead these girls, you have to ask yourself, if by telling them a truth that they cannot handle, what are they likely to do? And then you have to weigh that up against your goals, their behavior, their predictable behavior versus how it will impact your goals. You're going to have to make the best decision for yourself from that. I do want you to be aware that the truth or information or intelligence, as the master Sun Tzu states, prior information enables, truth enables. You give them some information, they're going to do something with it. Hopefully, what they would do is predictable to you, but sometimes it can be unpredictable. Sometimes you give a woman a ugly truth that she can't handle. You tell her, "Hey, love, you're one of my girls. I got two girls or three girls or however many girls." She thought she was the only one. Now that she's been empowered with information, she still likes you, has comfort, and is complacent. So she says, "Okay, I'll stay dealing with you and I will feign compliance, but I'm going to start shopping for other men." So while she's dealing with you, now she's dealing with other guys. While she's sleeping with you, now she's sleeping with other guys. And she might be filling your head with lies. Huh? Yeah, she got this ugly truth. She ain't like the truth. And she says, "Yeah, yeah, I'll continue on with you. I'll be faithful to you." But in her mind, now she's manipulating and she's angry because you're not exclusive to her. So she says, "Well, if you can do it, I can do it." And then so she starts dealing with these guys, and now you're at risk in a number of ways, many of which you are not aware of. So you have to be very thoughtful about who you give information to, why you give the information. And you also, as a man, have to be able to compartmentalize and manage your own emotions so that you can get to the goalpost that you've set. Do know that if victory was easy, everyone would go for it. But most people really don't have what it takes to win. They don't want to display the higher level emotional intelligence that it takes to win. You have to ask yourself, are you a winner or a loser? Are you going to do what it takes? There used to be a phrase that went around in the culture: a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Now, a lot of males don't know what to do. Hmm? Rakeley writes, "Dang, no size 15 in the MDB loafers. Peace to the Saints." And they cold too. But no, we didn't go up to size 15, unfortunately. But hey, man, the size 15, you can't get the loafers, but I'm sure you're very tall, and that too is beneficial in a real way. Shout out to Big for sending in support. We appreciate that. AR writes, "In an old video on Patreon, you jokingly mentioned creating a series 1-800 report a hoe. Ever given it more thought? I think it would be better than Saint City podcast. Not sure why the message isn't sending. Phone tripping." Okay, that's interesting. That could be our call-in show, like kind of like our dating or relationship show. 1-800 report a hoe. I like that. That's good. That's good. I appreciate that. I'm gonna write that down. That's a brilliant idea, and that's great, great branding. Yeah, and people can call in with their questions about relationships. They can also call in with their stories, and I trust there are many. Indeed, and we just have to figure out exactly how we want to do the call in. I think generally cameras on is nice, but certainly people might have narratives that they want to share with no video on. So we'll think about it. Thank you for that question by PayPal, Kenneth. We appreciate it. Hopefully, it's been edifying to the folks in the public. Shout out to Heels In for supporting. And I do have that link for the members. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm pulling up the member sites to post that link for you. If you would do yourself the favor, as you've paid for your membership, please do not share this link publicly. We're going to do this live session for those who are within the family, those who appreciate the work, honorable men. It'll be nice to, do this with just the family. And in the future, for all of us, let us be mindful of our words. We should always think before we speak. That is a basic, especially as a male. We should always be very thankful for gratitude. Not only represents us well, but gratitude colors the quality of our life. And also remember, as you can learn from Napoleon Hill, that you should never expect a man to do something without giving them a reason to do something. Often we expect something for nothing, which is very strange, especially as a male, because the world doesn't really treat you like that, does it? Females can get something for nothing, children can get something for nothing, but not males. So please don't act feminine with me. I won't tolerate it. Is that the right link? Just want to make sure that we put in the right link here for you all. That's not the right link. Okay. This private link. Okay, if you are a member at theassassin.com, you should see that link went up now. So you can go ahead and get on that stream. Do not share that private link on this stream. If you are a member at marquettism.com, this link just went up. You should be able to see that link for the private stream coming to you within about 20 seconds. It is now live. And if you are a member at patreon.com / the saint and the sinner, that link just went up now. So you should be able to access that private link. You can go ahead and hop on there. Shout out to Jalen via Cash App. He writes, thanks for standing on principle. Appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. It's the only thing that I ever stand on. And one thing you all will remember is that human beings can be controlled by greed, sex, and fear. Greed, sex, and fear. That is how you control a human being. One of those things can control a human being. I've been well off and I've been poor. I've no fear or anxiety about going in between the two. It doesn't matter to me. And sex, I am not a sex addict. I'm not a consumer of pornography. And greed is never been something that's floated my boat. For that reason, I'm always going to stand on my principles. Anyways, I think we're all caught up here. And now let us enjoy this live session among our own. Peace to the, well, I guess I'm not going to say peace to the saints because we're about to see the saints. Goodbye to the public.